Okay, not really sure what happened there. For some reason we disconnected from the streaming server. Anyway, we're going to launch this stock Kerbal X. It's available as a saved ship in the sandbox mode. If for some reason you've never seen this game before, say hello to Bill, Jeb, and Bob Kerman. They're going to be our unwitting Kerbonauts today. We've throttled up, turn the SAS on, and let's go. Ignition, release. Here, well, looks like I'm probably going to turn this game audio down some more. Now, from here, we're going to just keep going up and staging. This rocket has what's called asparagus staging in the Kerbal community. Basically, there's fuel feeding to each of these outer rockets in sequence, and you drop them to lose weight as they run out of fuel themselves. It really does amaze me just how loud those rockets are. Anyway, we're going to go to an altitude of about 10,000 meters before shifting our angle of thrust to the east toward the 90-degree marker. I know some of you may have expected things to just start exploding by now based on what you may have heard of this game. But that's not what we're after here today. Now you'll notice that I've, lowered my thrust some. I'm trying not to waste fuel attempting to go faster than the terminal velocity of the ship. Which is kind of funny to say anyway, because who cares? If they crash and burn right now, all's fair. Now we've angled ourselves about 45 degrees out. And you'll see here on this marker what's referred to as the apoapsis. And that is the highest point in our orbit around the planet. As you can see right now, even though it is definitely our highest point in orbit around the planet, we don't actually have an orbit. We are going to splash down in the ocean if we don't change anything about what we're doing right now. Now what we're going to do is get this apoapsis out to about 100,000 meters, about 100 kilometers, and then we're going to kill our thrust and wait until the apoapsis to burn prograde toward the horizon and try to get into a stable 100K orbit. I personally haven't had a whole lot of success with that. I mean, I can get into orbit, but actually making it stable and truly circular, not great at it. And this time I'm going to try eyeballing it. I doubt it's going to work though. Anyway, we are about to kill our thrust. And there. Okay, so let's turn our ship, which you can see here. Let's go ahead and turn our ship, and it's slow going because we've still got this big set of fuel tanks and engine on us. Let's go ahead and turn our ship. Whoa. Now technically we're turning our ship using some inertia wheels, mostly in the Yeah, Rocco Max. Right now we're rocking in space. Okay. So we're pointed about where we want to be. We've got 20 seconds until we hit apoapsis. And we're commencing burn in T minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Burn. Now you can see our orbits spreading out. Spreading, spreading. We're not quite to the point where we have an orbit yet. And we've run out of fuel. That's why we stopped. Oops. Now you'll see it's a lot easier to turn this thing. Right now we've got a fairly big fuel tank for the engine that we're using, and it's an engine that's much better in space than it is in atmosphere. So it's actually much more fuel efficient. Oh, see, now we have a periapsis, and we want to kill at about, let's say, we'll just go ahead and go with that. Now, this is definitely not a circular orbit. As you can see, our apoapsis is at about 415,000 meters. And our periapsis is at about 92. Now this will be a stable orbit because we don't dip low enough to go into Kerbals' atmosphere. If we were below, say, about 70, 65 kilometers at our periapsis, we would slowly lose speed each orbit and eventually come crashing down into the planet. Now, let's go ahead and we are gonna go ahead and make ourselves head back down to the planet so that we can finish up this little initial stream. And we are going to do that when we hit the apoapsis. We're going to burn retrograde. That's opposite the direction of our thrust at the apoapsis to kill our velocity around the planet until we get down to, say, a periapsis of, I don't know, 30 or so. Now we're going to time warp. Alright. Okay, let's slow down. Correct our direction here. Make sure that's actually, no, that is not retrograde. That is retrograde. You see, it's got a little X down in here. That indicates that's the opposite of your direction of thrust. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and turn the speed up just a little bit more so that we can get there, and turn it down some, and go back to real time. Commencing retrograde burn in 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Burn. Now, if we look at our periapsis, it's slowly going down, 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 down. Okay. That's a close enough periapsis that I'm not really worried about it there. Now we are going to go around until we hit there. Okay, so as you can see, we're slowly entering back into the atmosphere. Whoa, this little can flips really fast. Now we're going to turn towards our retrograde and slow down some more. And burn just a little bit here. Try to kill the rest of this. Alright, now we're gonna try to splash, we're gonna try to land over there, but I don't think that's really gonna work, because we are gonna definitely splash down, because you see this orbit line doesn't take into account the effects of the air friction that we're encountering right now. So we are actually going to go ahead and jettison that. And once we get below 20,000, we're probably going to pop our chute. Now, one thing, if you're playing this game, the physics can be tied to the speed at which you're warping. So releasing your parachute or hitting the 500 meter mark, which is when the parachute fully deploys without being at normal speed, can result in the parachute ripping off the ship. Crash landed the first few times I played this doing that. For right now, we're going to speed ourselves back up. Looks like we're going to land in the ocean over here. Not too far offshore, but a little bit. Alright, let's slow ourselves back down and land. And see, 500 meters, parachute fully deploys. We slow down to really a speed that's about as fast as gravity can pull us down in this atmosphere. Now, while we're waiting to splash down here, I just wanted to talk about the potential future of this channel. I'm planning on using it to probably work through some of my backlog of games. Those of you who play on PC frequently and have seen a Steam sale at all probably know how easy it is to accumulate a backlog like that. I'm also probably going to be playing some Hearthstone Arena, because I got into the closed beta for that. Not that they aren't letting everybody in. I'm also might also be playing some Batman Arkham Asylum. I played the first several hours of that maybe about a year ago, but then I stopped for whatever reason. I don't know if they can get out of here from here. But playing some Hearthstone, maybe some Path of Exile. If it will run at the same time as OBS on this machine, Crusader Kings 2, where you can see just how much of a sociopath that game makes me when I'm playing it. But in the meantime, let's EVA Jeb. Alright, our little Kerbals floating around. He is floating, but that is way too far off. Never mind. Let's get back in the ship. We might have to try to use him to push the capsule over to the point that he can latch on to the crew hatch. You can do it, Jebediah. Go on. Alright. Then we'll use this little magical recover vessel here. And we are back at the Space Center. Now, if I play this again in the future, I might go ahead and start a new career mode on it. That involves having a much limited parts base to start with and slowly working your way up. I might also include MechJeb so that I can get some better stats. I know there's also an engineer mod. I might try that one. But yeah, if I play this again, I'm going to go back into career mode and we'll start from scratch and let our Kerbals do science. Anyway, I'm AtreusMonk, and I'll see you next time.